Hey guys, welcome back. This is Hot Routes, episode 2. We're going to dive right in. First thing we're going to touch on is Darren McFadden's hamstring. I think we all knew it was coming at some point. A lot of us just hoped it would be a little later on in the season, but here we are. So he wasn't at practice today. Marcel Reese had and I quote, more serious injury to his knee. So he's not the handcuff anymore. We're looking at Jennings, right? So if you're a McFadden owner, I think you got to own Jennings, especially with the late start on Sunday. You might have to yank out McFadden if he's all of a sudden a late scratch in a game time decision. No Daryl Richardson for Week 5 for St. Louis either. So I think Pete is the guy to own in a PPR. You could look at Cunningham too if you're in a deeper league. Those guys are going to get the work. We'll probably see a little bit more Tavon Austin. Hopefully they lean on the passing game just a little bit more. Well, I guess more than they already were. But no Richardson, no Daryl Richardson in Week 5. One guy that I think you guys need to buy low on right now is Roddy White. He saw 97% of Atlanta's offensive snaps on Sunday. He also saw 9 targets. Now, Tony Gonzalez hogged a lot of those targets. I think he had 14. But I think you can buy low on Roddy. He's got a bye week coming up in Week 6. So he's going to have a fair amount of time to get healthy. Hoyer is getting a start for Cleveland Browns. Thursday night football, typically a fantasy wasteland. I think Cameron's going to be fine. I think Josh Brown's going to be fine. That Bills secondary is awful. So plug those guys in without any reservations. And I think what's some really good positive news out of Green Bay is that Eddie Lacy has been a full participant in practice all week, and McCarthy said that he is full go. So there's a little bit of news about a running back by committee. Hopefully that is just to kind of work Lacy in, and Lacy is clearly the superior back. I think any of those backs, as we've seen, can run well in Green Bay, and Lacy is the far superior or much more talented running back. So Lacy's good to go. Get him plugged in. If people are kind of panicking on that, I think he could, buy low as well. So with that, I want to bring you something new, and this is something we're going to do every week, and look more for these videos. Dave Loughran is going to be doing a weekly video where he shows you what lineups he's using, how to set those lineups for these daily fantasy sites. It's going to be some fun stuff, so keep an eye on that. But what I want to bring you right now is what I call the Daily Fantasy Nugget. This is by Dave Loughran. You can find him on Twitter at LoughyD333, and that's at LOUGHYD333. There's an under-the-radar quarterback that he wants you guys to look at, and his name is Eli Manning. So I know, all right, just hear me out here, or hear Dave out. Philadelphia has allowed 1,300 passing yards, which is the 31st most in the league. They've also allowed 9 touchdowns to opposing teams' quarterback, and that's tied for second in the league. So with the increased snaps that Philadelphia is running, it's only getting the other opposing teams' offenses on the field a little bit more as well. I think that you're going to try and work David Wilson in, and if you're going to pay for David Wilson, it's probably a week to do it. But take a good hard look at Eli Manning. He could present some great value and allow you to work in some studs this week, okay? With that, I want to get to a couple Twitter questions. Let's see here. At Andrew Alexander 5 says, I'm getting Colston, and I'm sending Powell and Mike Williams. Is that a good trade? I think it's a great trade. He also includes that he has running back depth and needs another quality wide receiver. So yeah, I like Powell, but the fact that you're getting rid of, a guy that you have depth at, and chances are Powell was one of your later round picks anyways. If not, you picked him up. I think you got to make that deal. Colston usually starts off a little slow, and he usually picks it up from there. So I think you make that trade and you grab Colston. The other question comes from at Outlaw5, and he wants to know if I like the Rams or the Falcons more as a DST stream. I like them both, but I do like the Rams more. They get to go up against Jacksonville and Blaine Gabbert. Anytime you have a defense going against Blaine Gabbert, it's usually a solid bet. So run with the Rams. I want to answer a lot more of these Twitter questions, but it's something that I'm going to have to do in another video. So get at me, tweet me some questions. You guys are doing it constantly. But I'll try and get to them in these videos. Feel free to comment down below, and I'll try and answer your questions there. With that, though, that's going to wrap up episode 2 of Hot Routes, and I'll see you guys in a couple days, and we'll get you some more info and answer some more of those Twitter questions. See ya!